In the 1980s, it was the United States versus the Soviet Union. In the 1990s, we had WWF versus WCW in the Monday Night Wars. By the end of the 1990s, we had the Backstreet Boys versus NSYNC. I will not tell you what side I was for. In the early 2000s, we had Eminem taking on both Limp Bizkit and Everlast. That feud was fucking hilarious. In the 2010s, we had the raving nut job Kanye West versus the egomaniac glam girl Taylor Swift. Please don't cancel me. But honestly, what if I told you that there was a war being waged in the 1980s that the majority of society, except for Transformers fans, were not aware of? The year was 1984. The Transformers were starting to hit the toy shelves. The public was unaware, though, that the Transformers launched the first salvo in what would become known as the 3-Year War. In one corner of the toy aisle, we have what the fuck? Anyway, we have the up-and-coming sensation Transformers. In the other corner, we have the reigning king of transformation toys known as GoBots. Which of these toy lines will prevail? Well, since... God, this looks so fucking shitty with me doing it from a script. Anyway, I'm going to keep doing it. Anyway, it's been 40 years and you know who the winner is. So, welcome to another unboxing video. Today, I'm just going to do off the hip like I always do. Okay. Today, I'm going to be covering Crasher. She was a GoBots character that made its way to the Transformer universe. Because, Hasbro ended up wiping the floor with GoBots and basically assimilated their ass like how the Borg assimilated Enterprise in that one movie. Anyway, what do I think of this figure? Well, you're going to have to stay tuned and find out, because I'm running out of shit to try to say. So let's get to the commercial, shall we?
Hello? Who's that? Oh, hi. What are you doing out in this mess?
1, 2. You're doomed. You're all doomed. 3.
We weren't doing anything. We were just messing up.
4. 5. 6.
'Must be my imagination.
7.
Can I help you? Hello?
8. 9. 10. 11. 12. Friday, the 13th. You may only see it once, but that will be enough. Friday, the 13th.
if you're still watching this video after that horrendous opening, basically scared the shit out of everybody, yes, I need to learn how to read from a script a lot better. I also need to make it a little bit shorter, apparently. Anyway, if you are still watching or you skipped that opening, which I do not blame you, today I am going to be doing an unboxing and review of the Transformers Legacy Velocitron Speedia 500, the Deluxe Class Crasher. This figure is basically a repaint of the Kingdom Deluxe Class War for Cybertron Kingdom Deluxe Class Mirage. But I'll get to that in a moment. Anyway, so I bought this figure from Amazon. It was $28.80. And this is like one of the few times I ever saw this figure listed on Amazon due to the rarity that this figure had. This was this was released in the second wave of the Velocitron figures, and this was one of the more difficult figures to get. Honestly, all of the figures were quite difficult to get in the second wave of the Velocitron series. But anyway, so I spent $28.80. There was $2.36 tax. It ended up becoming $31.16 altogether. I bought it from Easy Klein. I'm not sure if there's any more of this figure available on Amazon, but if there is, and you see Easy Klein as the seller or sold by, basically, go ahead. You know, you can always look him up, see if he has any. You know, because I got the figure, so you know I had no problems with it. You know, or with the seller at least. So there's that. So let's do that. So, as always, let's get to this. So as I said, basically Crasher is a repaint. I think it's just a straight repaint. If they were going to do anything different, I figured it would be with the head, but I looked at the head and I could not really tell if there's anything different due to the fact that the head is the helmet of the head is all black and kind of blends in and everything. It's a glossy black, so you can't really tell if there's any real difference, honestly. But like I said, the Mirage figure from Kingdom, which is on the bottom row here, the three figures. The bottom row consisted of the vanilla version Mirage sold in Kingdom. And then the figure was released again as a G2 variant in the Toxitron collection. And then that figure ultimately had the repaint to Crasher, which I have today. The Kingdom mold of Mirage, it is a slightly altered mold of the War for Cybertron Siege Mirage, which in itself had two other repaints. It had I guess you could say clear as a repaint, but it had what I think is ultimately the coolest Mirage figure that I have, the Hollow Mirage. It's the clear translucent blue figure that you see, and then it also had the Decepticon Mirage figure. It was basically him in a camouflage as part of the Netflix War for Cybertron trilogy anime, or is it anime or the animated show that was on Netflix a few years ago. Overall, the figure looks nice. It's literally just a straight up repaint of Mirage. If you like the Mirage figure and you like repaints, then you're pretty much going to like Crasher. However, as I will get into later on in the video, this figure still has some of the flaws of that Mirage had. They did not do anything to address some of the problems, which I will talk about in the conversion. So we'll get to that pretty damn quickly. So stay tuned, and I will be right back with the unboxing portion.
Hello?
On a June night in 1980, Friday the 13th, 12 of her friends were murdered. Why should Friday the 13th, 1981 couldn't be any different. Friday, the 13th, Part 2. The body count continues. 14.
All doomed. You're all doomed.
15. 16. 17. 18. 19. 20. 21. 22. 23.
Sandra? Jeff?
The day you count on for terror is not over. Friday, the 13th, Part 2.
Okay, so when it comes to unboxing this figure, you're probably wondering like what exactly came in what was the box like and all that good stuff. Basically, I have to say that if it's one thing, normally I do not really like a lot of what what Hasbro does with the mainline boxes because it's pretty generic and it still has that genericness here, but for some reason it just seems to fit a little bit better with this product line. So anyway, so on the front you actually have a couple different pictures. On the bottom of the front, you have Crasher in her primary mode. And just by the way, before anybody asks, I should have taken a picture, but I did not at the time. Crasher comes in her alt mode. All of the the Velocitron figures actually come in there. Actually, here I can show you. I'll be right back. Hold on. I know you're. I know. I'll be right back. I'll be right back. Please don't kill me. I'll be right back. Okay, so I am back. Here, let's actually fix the camera for a second so you can see it in a better size or whatever the correct term is. Nope, not that one. Oh, here it is. Okay, so basically, oh, let's turn off the picture. Hold on, sorry about that. So basically, like I said, she comes in her alt mode. I have a couple other figures to kind of give you an idea what to look forward to. So basically, this is Road Rocket. Is it Road Rocket? Yeah, Road Rocket. This is G2 Road Rocket. As you can see, she is in her alt mode. So basically, this is what you kind of expect for Crasher, but she'll be in her. It's a race car instead of a motorcycle. And then we also have the Cybertron. Yeah, Cybertron Universe Voyager class. Override? Yeah, Override. Sorry, Override. And basically, like I said, she's also in her alt mode. So that's what you can kind of expect when it comes to getting this figure if you are lucky enough to locate this figure. So let's switch back to this and then this. There we go. And we'll get back to this. So like I said, you have her primary mode on the front. On the flap above the front, you have her alt mode, which I kind of like because you can at least kind of get an idea of what you're expecting, so you get like both shots, and that's why I always I like having the ability to see, on the front, seeing what they look like in their alt mode and in their primary mode. So on the top, we have a couple pictures. On the top of the box itself, you have her in her alt mode. Late Transformers Legacy. I wish it actually said Velocitron Speedia 500. I wish it said it underneath the logo instead of off to the side. I just kind of like it like that. That's a pet peeve of mine, though. You have some sort of little symbol in the lower left corner. I think that could be the symbol for Velocitron. And then on the flap, as you saw in the front, on the front of the box, you have the her alt mode of the race car. On the back of the box, you have the generic stock photos, of Crasher. It takes 18 steps, and that's about it. There's not even like a little one-sentence bio, if I remember correctly. Here, let me check the back of Road Rocket just to confirm. Yeah, I don't think. Yeah, I thought I may have saw something, but apparently I was wrong. On the left-hand side of the box, you have the continuation of the Crasher image. So it's like a low, I'm guessing you could say it's like a panoramic. I'm not sure if that's the right word, but it's the continuation of her photo, which is nice. And then on the right-hand side of the box, you basically have the zoomed-in version, but they basically mutilated the picture by cutting off her arms, so. Oh, by the way, you can forcefully remove her arms, in the toy, but that'd break the toy. So don't think that you can, like, remove her arms simply because the picture's like that. And then on the bottom, we have useless, words and garbage, basically. The legal shit that nobody ever fucking reads. And now you're wondering what came in the box. So basically in the box you have the instruction manual, you have the figure itself, and then you have exactly the same two weapons that Mirage has, a blaster and a rocket launcher. The rocket can actually be removed from the launcher itself. So basically, if you really want to be, if you want to be literal, you can say that there's 3 accessories. But the rocket really doesn't look good, even though it has a post for it to be held. It looks kind of weird as a blaster, so basically it's like 2 accessories, but anyway. So that's what actually came in the box and the box art and everything for the unboxing portion. So stay tuned. When I return, it will be the converting of this figure, and I'll give you my thoughts about that. So stay tuned. I'll be right back.
Weekends are a good time to escape to the woods. Unless the weekend begins with Friday the 13th. Because 13 is an unlucky number. But out here, so are 1 through 12. Because these are Jason's woods. And nobody leaves them alive. Jason, you can't fight him. You can't stop him. Now, when it comes to killing in Jason's woods, Jason will come to you. A new dimension in terror. It will scare you. Count on it.
As always, there is a review that comes with these unboxing and review videos, thus the name unboxing and review. So okay, I guess we can start off with the negatives. I forgot to turn it off. So I normally like to start with the positives, to go to the negatives, and then finally the pet peeves. But today, since it's already up, let's start with the negatives. Okay, so first off, like I already mentioned, it's difficult getting certain parts to convert. I should have put to tab, but I did not. It's just like I said, certain pieces, especially with the front of the vehicle mode, would not line up. I would try no matter what. Like, I would get it together and then like another part would untab. So I would try to hold the other part to tab and then the front, and then when I would let go, they'd both untab. It was just a fucking mess, to be honest. I ended up having to settle with the front of the nose of the vehicle being a little bit tilted, And then another issue is I had problems with the same problems with the Mirage figure. One of the weapons does not fit properly with the hand, which I'm wondering if that weapon was even meant to be with Hound, or if it was just a production error and they just never addressed it. The fact that they never addressed it, here I'm going to show a picture. The fact that they never addressed it could have been logical, but anyway. The issue is with the rocket launcher. I took a couple pictures so you can get a far out and then a far in image. So, the problem is that the the grip of the weapon is not long enough, and because it's so short, you try to push it all the way down, but the back of the blaster or the rocket launcher, it bumps up against the forearm, and I know you can't really see, but there's a piece of plastic that is part of the rocket launcher, and it just will not allow you to put the gun fully into the figure's hand. It's not unique to Crasher. It had the same problem with Mirage, and I think I had the same problem even back with the Siege Mirage. Also, they never fixed it, and this is something that Hasbro always seems to do. They will fuck something up, and they rarely ever address the problem. They're content with having something be wrong and just keep pushing the same product out, you know. And when I bought this figure, I was actually kind of wondering to myself if they were actually going to address the problem, because it's actually a pretty simple problem. Let me just move literally, the kid had just removed that bottom piece. It's like a little piece of plastic. It wouldn't even damage the weapon at all. It's part of it's more decorative than anything. But if they removed that plastic by sanding it down or whatever, the entire grip would then fit securely in Crasher's hand. But nope, we gotta get something out as quick as possible. We gotta get it out. It may have numerous problems, but still, we gotta get out. We gotta make that money, you know. And that, it annoys me. But anyway, and then the tabs that connect the arms. So there's a tab here. I should have taken a picture, but I did not. There's a tab that connects the arms to the chest. If you're trying to play, I don't even think there's a tab there. Oh, I know the tab is part of the chest, but it's supposed to. Oh God, it's supposed to go down and tab to the arm to offer stability for when you try to put this figure in different the arms in different positions. The thing is, it doesn't securely hold on. So if you raise the arm up, the whole unit comes up. So basically, what you kind of have to do is kind of tilt, push down, and then gotta try to. There it goes. See, and then it stays in. I know you can't really see it, but it's right here. It's just a fucking mess. That's what this review is turning into. This review is turning into a mess. But yeah, I do not understand how Hasbro could release something as messed up as this figure. Now let me see if the problem is as prevalent with. Yeah, well, it still does it. Not on this side. This side is pretty good, but let's see here. Let's see if I can get it. Yeah, see, it's this white part here just does not tab in. So you literally kind of have to do, hold it down and then there, if you want to do any kind of angles with the figure, So that was the negatives. Let's get on with the positives, because I feel so wrong one. I feel so negative now, but let's start with the positives, or resume with the positives. I like the fact that this is a possibility to get more GoBots characters. Now, I already have Crasher, as you saw. I have a Road Ranger, which is part of a 2-pack with Puffer, I think. It's either Puffer or Huffer or something like that. No, it's Puffer, I think. And then I also have Bug Bite. Now, I'm not sure if they've released any others, but those are the 3 I have. And then I saw the list of reveals coming out in 2024, and we actually have a 3-pack of more GoBots. So I actually like the thought of getting more GoBots out to the public, to get more, it adds variety, number one, and they're also characters from another toy line that was competing with Transformers. So it's a nice recognition, because ultimately Kenner / GoBot, the makers of, I think it was Kenner that made the GoBots, they gave Transformers a run for the money for 3 years. They were one of the big competition. I can't recall if there was anything else during that time, but GoBots, it was Transformers and GoBots. It was like WWF and WCW. So the mold is solid. with the exception of the flaws. The mold is solid. I like the mold. I could actually imagine them doing different characters with this mold. The coloring is vibrant. It's nice. The problem is, like, when you're trying to take a picture for editing and it's against a black or white background, it's going to be difficult to remove that background digitally because of the coloring of the figure. I ended up having to go with an online photo for the unveiling picture that I used. Articulation, second to none. That's something you can expect for the War for Cybertron and Legacy figures. Hasbro really upped the articulation, especially considering how shitty the articulation was for the Combiner Wars, Power of the Primes, and Titans Return figures. And then you get 3 accessories, 2 if you really don't count the missile as being like a blaster, because it has a, let's see here. For some reason, it's supposed to be a missile launcher, or rocket launcher, or whatever, but you can actually remove the missile, which would be fine, but it has a grip. So people, like, is this supposed to be like a fucking blaster? So I say, basically it has 2 accessories. It has well, these are Mirages, but it's the same, literally the same accessories, just colored black. Come on, there goes. The one thing I like that you can do is, once again, it's Evo Fusion, but they want to act like Evo Fusion was exclusive to Evolution. Nope. You can take these 2 and make a long rifle, basically, which is kind of cool. I like that. So there is some variety to be had. Now, let's go to the pet peeves. Although this figure is classified as a Decepticon, it's in her fucking name, Decepticon Crasher. No, there is no goddamn symbol for this figure, which drives me nuts. Why can you not put a little bit of purple paint that's in the form of a symbol? Why can't you do that? Number 2, no rub sign. I'm always gonna complain. I like rub signs. I want to see rub signs. There's lack of any new accessories. The accessories are nice, but I would have liked something new. Hasbro played it safe, and there's no real innovation to this figure. If anything, it's a little bit of a step back, because some of the problems that this figure has wasn't really as prominent on Mirage, so it seems like a little bit of a degrade, I guess. Degrade, it's a step down. But yeah, so overall, it's a nice figure. I just wish that Hasbro would have addressed some of the stuff, especially with the issue with the blaster. It's not fun, Why could they not have made that grip a little bit longer, But so that is it for the positives and negatives and pet peeves. So when I return, it will be with my final thoughts. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
Three times before, you have felt the terror, known the madness, lived the horror. But this is the one you've been screaming for. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Jason is back. He moves like a shadow, dark and silent.
Sorry, you changed your mind?
He never utters a word. He doesn't even seem to breathe.
Where the hell's the corkscrew?
He simply Mindlessly. Mercilessly. Kills. But now, Jason's reign of terror is over. Friday the 13th, the final chapter. Friday, April 13th, is Jason's unlucky day.
When it came to converting this figure, I had watched the MGO 316 video of his just transforms it of the Kingdom Mirage. This figure came in the 2-pack with Grimlock. I think it was called Battle Across Time or whatever the fuck. However, so like I said before, I never really convert these figures, so it was like the first time converting it, and I kind of learned from this guy, when I was learning to convert this figure, that the same issues I had with this figure carried over with Crasher. Now let's get the videos up. So basically, the main issue I had converting it, the conversion process, although it's simple, I guess you could say, the parts do not easily align and move. Especially, I had problems with the legs, a majority of the steps with the legs. They just did not want to tab, which is a common problem I've seen with a lot of these figures. You can get it converted, but when you try to get all the pieces fit together and tabbed nicely, it just does not work sometimes. Or you can push them together, and then the minute you let the pieces go, the tabs will pop out. I kind of had that problem with both Mirage and Crasher. I'm not sure if it really it can be seen in this video. Here, let me see if I can pause it real quick. No. But no. Okay, let's see if I can reverse. Okay, come on. Okay, as you can see on the bottom image here, the front of the alt mode is a little bit tilted, a little bit, where the nose is, I guess you could say. And that's kind of like what I was talking about. And because that's not aligned perfectly, no matter what I did, it would just not line up perfectly. It kind of messed up the rest of the alt mode, where like where the driver's seat is. It just fucked it up real bad. That's what I'm trying to say. But yeah, so converting, it's easy, but it's trying to get the pieces to click together. That was what the major flaw this figure had. I sometimes wonder if it's a QC issue or if it's just the plastic, warping. I'm not sure if that's the right term, but I'm just not a fan of it. That's why I never really convert these figures. Number one, because that things can break, and number two, the finished product, like what it shows on the back of the goddamn box here, it doesn't always look like what you're the end product, like when you do it. And that drives me nuts. So that's why I also never convert these figures. I like them in their primary mode, honestly. They look awesome. But, if you like them in their alt mode, hey, that's cool for you, So that is it for the converting. Overall, it was easy, but frustrating at the same time because I could not get things to properly tab in and whatnot. So when I return, it will be my review, and I'll give you my thoughts about all that. So stay tuned, and I'll be right back.
If the memory of Jason still haunts you, you're not alone. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Severe trauma at age 12. Brutal self-defense, murder of a psychopathic killer. Boy, they've given him every therapy they can think of. It's a wonder his mind isn't fried with all the drugs they've given him.
The mindless, murderous fury that was buried with Jason has been reborn.
Pete!
And suddenly, terror has become child's play. Friday the 13th, Part 5, A New Beginning.
Alright, everybody. So as always, we've gone through the unveiling. I did the unboxing. I gave you my thoughts about the conversion process. I gave you my review of it. Time for my final thoughts. Overall, is this a figure that I had to have had? Honestly, no, but I'm a partial completist, and I just thought the figure looked nice. Is this a figure that the general public, like, they have to get for the collection? I honestly don't think so. But like I said, it's ultimately up to each collector. It isn't like if you do not get this figure, like say for the ARC crew, you're not really going to be missing anything. It isn't like it is with Mirage. Everybody, if you're a collector, you're going to want to get Mirage because you're trying to put together your Earth crew, so it's not really a necessity that you get this figure. It's a nice figure, but it isn't one that you're highly going to need to get, One of the major problems with Crasher, besides the conversion and all that, is the fact that this figure was very limited release. For some reason, for Wave 2 of the Velocitron figures, I think they only did like a total of 4 figures. I think there's Galaxy Shuttle, Cosmos, Shadow Strip, and Crasher. And for the entire time that the Wave 2 was in stores, they never appeared at the local Walmart where I live. So I ended up having to go and get this figure from Amazon, as you can see here. And because of that, you're going to pay a little bit more because you're dealing with third party. Normally I think these figures went for like what, $21, $22.99, and I had a small markup of $28.80. So it isn't like scalper levels, but it's still a little bit more, But then again, you're buying something that was not that common. The figure, the conversion and everything, like I said, it was simple, but I had severe problems getting the parts to tab in and basically stay put. No matter what I tried, nothing would. Especially with the front, it was difficult to keep the front tabbed in. I don't have an image, but you can see it in the review portion. Another issue I had was with the weapon not, it would bump against the forearm. So basically, even though you would have a lot of real estate with the grip, the whole grip would not fit in the hand because the gun was constantly bumping into the forearm. So it's like, what's the point of having a long grip? I wouldn't even say it's long. I'd say it's normal. But what's the point of having a grip at all if the arm is going to block the figure from securely holding that weapon? And it's not just an issue with Crasher. I also had the problem with Mirage. So it isn't like something that was new that popped up with this figure. Which just goes to talk about how, it's an issue with Hasbro. They do not do proper QC, apparently. Because anybody who would have checked that figure that would put the accessory in the hand should have realized, oh shit, that accessory is not fitting totally in the hand. And they should have gone back and said, hey, we need to either make the grip longer, remove that piece of plastic, or alter the forearm a bit. But they did not do that. Oh, let's see here. But yeah, besides that, overall the figure's nice. It's just not like a massive, like it's not a must-have for your collection. Your collection's not going to miss it if this figure is not included. I like the figure also because it's supposed to be a GoBot figure, you know, even though it's a Mirage figure, but the character is a GoBot, and we don't have many of those that I'm aware of. So it's nice to have something different, you know. Some representation, I guess. That isn't that the right word nowadays, representation? But it's nice to have something represented from the GoBots, you know, because like I said, GoBots were a major competitor for 3 years. But yeah, so to learn, I'm not sure if I mentioned it, but to learn to convert this figure from the primary to the alt mode, and then from the alt mode back to the primary, I watched the MGo video. So I am going to put that link in the description below, and I guess that's about it. So next week, I'm not sure who I'm going to be doing unboxing of, but when I do, you can always find it on my Twitter. Speaking of that, here, let's get this off. I actually have a few things you can do if you want. If you like, you can always click on like, subscribe, and click the bell. On Twitter, I try to keep updates about what I do, so you can always reach me at GCurseTF on Twitter or at GCurseTFcollection@gmail.com. That's my email. Or, you know, you can just leave a comment and I'll try to reply there, you know. But that is about it. I'm sorry that this video was a little bit wonky, I guess you could say. I was in the middle of doing laundry and I was trying to make sure I was getting everything done and being on time and everything, but that's about it. I hope that at least I give you some insight to the character. To the figure. I do not try to tell you yes or no. I try to give you my thoughts. I would prefer people actually hear what I say and then go and like see what other people say and make an informed decision on their own. But that is about it. Until next time, my name is Jeff, aka GCurse with Crasher, saying goodbye and have a good weekend. Peace out, everybody.